Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast. The first part of my story, I talked about where I was, a couple of years ago when I first had my daughter. 8-9 years from now, I was, my mindset, where I was, what I was thinking, what I was believing, what I was attracting into my reality, and where I am now, right? So 8-9 years ago, I was pregnant. I was 19 years old, and I was kicked out of my parents' house. That mindset I went through, I talked about all of that, how I shifted my mindset into just starting to understand manifestation, starting my business. So I think that's when I stopped. So this second part will be talking a little bit more about how I began to use manifestation and understand manifestation and understand my energy and reclaiming my power. And really, I guess a good general phrase for it is starting to do the healing work and starting to shift my identity. And none of this was anything that happened overnight. None of it was anything that happened very quickly, right? And it also wasn't easy. It took a lot of me recognizing how I was perpetuating this in my own way, and also how it was benefiting me to continue living in this story, in this identity, in this reality, right? Because again, we are creators of our own reality. Always. We are always creating our own reality. Every single thing we see is a creation of what we are perpetuating from our thoughts, our belief systems, and our energy. That's why two people who have similar circumstances, maybe similar money stories, like similar financial income, whatever it might be, similar circumstances can have two completely different lives, right? Because of the way that you perceive your reality, because of the way that you end up showing up and deciding to, what do you believe? Like, what do you believe about money? What do you believe about business? What do you believe about working hard, right? I think that's something that so many of us still hold on to, is that money only comes from really, really hard work. And it doesn't. I don't work hard in my business. I do work and put a lot of determination and put in a lot of action, but I don't hustle, right? There's no need for me to hustle. And I attract abundant amounts of money. And this is available to anybody based on what you believe, based on your energy, based on the signals that you send out to the universe. You receive certain things in your reality. I actually just got off of one of my client calls with a client that is very financially abundant. She's doing 6 figures in her corporate job, and she's starting her own coaching business, right? She wants to be a coach. She wants to transition into coaching as her career. And she's very abundant financially. She even has different manifestations that are flowing her way in her life. And she's still feeling like, oh my goodness, there's something that's, I feel like something is wrong. Something needs to, there needs to be more. I feel like there's not a lot of money left over after I pay my bills, right? And so after coaching, we uncovered that she's still holding, she's also a single mom. So she we uncovered that she is still holding on to this identity that as a single mom, she needs to do everything. Everything needs to come from her. She needs to be in charge of everything. And so simultaneously, she's blocking other channels of support and financial abundance and freedom from coming her way because she's telling the universe, I've got it. I need to do it on my own. I'm independent. I can figure it out. So she's holding on to this identity that's blocking her from making even more money. And because of that energy, that thought that she's holding on to, that belief, she's also not realizing the abundance and gratitude or having the gratitude for the abundance that is in her life currently, right? She keeps naming off all these things that she has, and yet she's still, creating and making it a problem. And what if it doesn't have to be a problem, right? What if she is infinitely protected and safe and secure? Because if you look at it, and this is the analogy that I gave her, there are people making more money than her that feel even less safe and secure. And there are people making less money than her that feel even more safe and more secure in their lives. It's just the way that you decide to perceive it. It's just the way that you decide to show up with your energy, with your thoughts, with your feelings, and decide to identify your life. Your circumstances do not dictate who you are and who you become. It's your thoughts, it's your energy, it's your feelings, okay? So I started to open myself up to all of that. So this is me beginning my part 2. Part 1 is on my feed. Make sure you go and listen to that first, or this isn't really going to make too much sense because I'm going to refer to a lot of the things I said in part 1. So as a quick recap, part 1, I was a broke single mom, could barely make it through month by month. I was feeding my daughter before myself. I was barely making rent. I was working 3 jobs. I was in school, and come 2020, I lost my day job. And I remember on the call with my boss, begging, crying, asking if there was anything I could do. I could do anything, right? And just feeling like I'm not feeling, in my head, it was truth. I was going to lose my place. I was going to be either out on the street, or I was going to have to go and see if my parents would let me live with them. It was a really, really scary situation for me. Because I really didn't have a lot of savings, wasn't even making a lot of money to begin with. I was making $19 an hour. They were really, really underpaying me. And so from there, I ended up starting my own coaching business. And the way that I started was literally just posting and letting people know, hey, I can offer social media coaching. I can help you build your presence. And I can do it for, I think the first package I offered was a 3-month package for $200. I was way undercharging myself. I quickly raised that. But a lot of people ended up taking me up on it. And I just started by literally sharing it on social media, right? That's all I did. At that point, I had been a social media creator. I had built my platform and my audience. And so I knew what I was doing on social media. I knew how to teach social media. And the more I taught it, the more I learned as well. I researched, I took courses, I listened to podcasts, I looked at articles and blogs. Thank you. And I did everything I needed in order to learn more about social media. In part 1, I was telling the viewers that I was pushing my daughter on strollers all around my small 1-bedroom that I had so she would go to sleep. And in one hand I was pushing the stroller that I'd brought into the house because it was the only way she would fall asleep. And then in my other hand, I had my phone. I was engaging, liking, following, commenting, so that I can build my social media presence, because I knew that this is something I wanted to learn more about and build. And over time, that it did end up paying off. And so when I first started coaching, I wasn't a business coach like I am now. I was strictly social media, and it was actually a great way for me to start. But over time, I realized that I wanted to go even deeper, and I wanted to be a business coach. And I had gained a lot of experience in becoming a business coach. And up until that point, it was really powerful for me to realize that I could make money on my own terms, right? In corporate settings, which are dictated by white supremacy and white privilege, all of the corporate settings are very much based on patriarchal standards. And so is professionalism. Professionalism goes back to white supremacy, right? And so the way that you show up, it is very much, it's very much if you don't fit into that box and those standards, then you are seen as other, right? Natural hair from women of color or men of color, people who dress outside of the professional the outfit, right? If you dare wear color, or if you dare show your skin as a woman, or if you're curvier and outfits fit different on you, right? There's just so much that goes into putting on this mask of this identity when you're in a corporate space, when you start your own business, when you are in charge of how you make money and how much you charge and who you work with. Nobody can say shit to you. And so that is so powerful. And I'm speaking directly to women and women of color, because those are, I teach women of color, I coach women of color. And it's so powerful because no one can tell you shit about how you make your money and how you show up in your life, right? And so I just got a little taste of it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm never going back. I'm never going to work for anyone ever again, right? I'm going to make this business work. And I did. And it really came from me shifting my beliefs from not even my beliefs. I mean, yes, that's like the specific part of it, but on a bigger scale, my identity. My identity was rooted in being a broke, struggling single mom. And I had to look, this was really hard for me. I had to look at how that was benefiting me, keeping me in that space. I got, it was like the shock value of what people would say when they would hear my story and how people would congratulate me, or the camaraderie that came with being broke, because people who are broke like to hang out with other people who are broke. Misery loves company. And I had to release and acknowledge all of that. I wasn't necessarily doing it on purpose, but it was a subconscious part of me that was like, oh, wow, I really am benefiting from this. I really am, reveling in this because it feels familiar to me. It feels comfortable to me, and I had to let that go. I had to let that identity go. Something I said in the previous live was sometimes our comfort zone isn't comfortable. It's not us like curled up in a blanket on bed, like, oh, I'm so comfortable, I'm so happy. Our comfort zone can sometimes be a really toxic environment, and it's just become comfortable to us over time, right? And that's the really hard truth. And that's why a lot of people don't end up shifting their reality, because it's hard. It's not easy to do this work. It's not, right? I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it's not easy work. This was not easy for me to go through these years and years of transformation, but it was so rewarding and beautiful and abundant because I kept my eye on the prize of the person I wanted to become, the identity I wanted to let go of in order to step into this dream life. And mind you, I am this young girl that's a single mom that was struggling so much financially that I didn't even know what that dream looked like. I don't even think I used the words dream life. That's not something I used in my vocabulary until much later, because I didn't even let myself dream. I just wanted the next best thing. I just wanted a little bit more money. I just wanted I wanted food on the table. I just wanted like a $1 raise. Like I wanted like the simplest things. I was like, I don't need much. Just I just want to be able to get by, right? When I was in that mentality, I didn't know how to dream that big. And honestly, dreaming this big, like me being able to take my daughter to Hawaii for 2 weeks, or being able to have enough financial freedom where I can travel to like so many different places this summer. I just got back from Hawaii, and this Sunday I'm leaving to Cabo, Mexico, right? I was also just in Barcelona, Spain. And so like there are so many things that have opened up for me. I live in a 2-bedroom home now, and I'm actually looking to buy a home. I have, my dream, like this is my dream life. My daughter's able to be in activities that I never thought that she would be able to be in, because I could barely afford childcare and babysitting for her, right? These are things that never would have been possible if I didn't open myself up to belief. But also, the point I'm trying to make was I didn't even know how to dream this big. Like I didn't know that this was even a possibility for me. Multi 6 figures as a CEO That wasn't even a thought that crossed my mind. I just wanted to make like $20 an hour at my 9 to 5. Like that's all I wanted and I would have been happy, right? But because I opened myself to receive more and more and more and more, and I didn't let myself stop or settle, I am here now, right? And I'm still not settling for this. I'm so grateful for where I am, and I'm truly just like enjoying and soaking it up. But also I have dreams and I'm working towards making $1 million. I'm probably going to hit it within the next year. I'm so close. And there's so much abundance that I get to open myself up to just because I am allowing myself to shift the way that I show up in my beliefs and my energy. And that's what I want you to take away from this live. Wherever you're listening to this from, wherever you are in your life, and if you're listening to this replay, if you're listening to this live, it doesn't matter. I want you to understand that you are the creator of your own reality, that everything you are able to see in your life, in your reality, is up to you. Okay, so that means taking responsibility for the things that you see now and the things that are maybe not as optimal, not as ideal. But it also means you have the power to create a whole different reality as well. That is something that is available to you. But you have to be open to realizing that. And you have to be willing to let go of the identity that's no longer serving you. Okay? Someone said this is such a message myself and another friend, both single mothers, needed to hear. Thank you, Tiffany. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for being here and receiving. Receiving is a really big part of it, right? Because we can ask for things and we manifest things and we look like, hi, thank you, Nikki. We ask for things and we pray for things and we set intentions, but then sometimes we're just like, go, go, go the rest of the day. We're not even stopping to listen, right? And this doesn't necessarily mean you need to like sit in meditation for an hour or you need to block off like a lot of time. It just means that your energy is open to receiving, right? You're all here in a state of receiving because you're listening to what I have to say. And I'm sure some of you I believe that you were led here for a specific reason, right? Not in an ego-filled way where I want you to be here and listen to what I have to say, but because I feel like a lot of the times when I go on live and when I record my podcasts, I'm channeling what people need to hear and what I feel like people need to hear based on what my guides are telling me. I got the idea for this live. I channeled this idea earlier this morning and I said yes and I hopped on and I decided to share. I just blindly surrendered to the universe and to my guides because I believe that there's many people here listening right now or to this replay that really needed to hear this and that it is going to benefit, it is going to impact somebody somewhere, right? So I listen to these nudges. And so I don't remember where I was. I think I was talking about starting to manifest my business and starting to shift my reality. And a lot of that happened very gradually. It happened with, me just taking baby steps at a time. Right? It was me deciding that I was going to make different decisions because our life, similar to our business, is just made up of a bunch of decisions. Like it's just us making decisions over and over and over again. And so being aware of what decisions you are making and why you're making these decisions and where these decisions come from and where is this connected to, right? Because everything that shows up in our reality, everything that shows up is a reflection of something that we believe. It is a reflection of the thing that we have created a story around, right? So we just take money, for example, because that's just such a common, it's just a common thing. If we have this story that money is only accessible through really, really hard work and sacrifice and never spending time with our families and grueling hard work that, takes you away from ever having fun, you might build a business. A lot of people do with this mentality. But you're also going to be working yourself to death. You might end up giving yourself a disease caused by stress. You might never see your family. You might, make money and you might be successful, right? Like, again, we see this happen, but it would also be a reality that is created by your story of, I can only make money through really, really hard work and sacrifice. And I decided that's not the way I'm going to build my business. And so my reality is I work a couple hours a week. I make money while I'm on vacation. While I was in Hawaii, I made money almost every single day. I was in Hawaii most of July, and it was already a over $20,000 month. And there's so much that I've opened myself up to that is available to me because I don't think money comes from really, really, really hard work. I've seen myself launch multi 5-figure, launches, and I've created, so in the first 8 months of my business, I created 6 figures. And within the first year, I was already surpassing $200,000. So my first year was a multi 6-figure year already, right? So I've proven and I've found the evidence that money doesn't come from really, really hard work, right? Money just comes from tapping into the frequency. That's all that it is. Money is just energy. Money is energy, and there is limitless energy in the world, and all you need to do is just tap into the frequency of it. I talk so much more about this on my podcast, which is the Social Reset podcast. It's linked in my bio. I'm not going to go into money right now because that's not the basis of this podcast, but I have so much content around attracting money and manifesting money. And it's what I teach in my main program, which is Business Activation Academy, where I teach you to build your own online business, start and grow it from scratch, and manifest money in an aligned way, right? So that's really where I am right now. Is I have a multi 6-figure business, and I've created so much financial freedom, so much expansion in my life that I never thought was possible. And if there are a couple things that I can leave you with, is the first thing you really have to acknowledge and be aware of is that you are you are the creator of your own reality. And when you realize this, there's so much power that you gain back from this. You no longer give your power to circumstances, to people around you, to things around you. You stop giving other people your power. And this is really important because you're not able to do your life's work and be in your highest vibration and live out your soul's purpose if you're constantly giving your power away to other people. Okay, when you give your power away to other people and you let other people decide for you, and you are, reactive to this circumstance, to that circumstance, you're constantly asking, why is this happening to me? You're constantly giving your power away to other people. And you are releasing the power that you are meant to have. So when you are in your highest vibration, when you are choosing joy, when you are choosing stories that serve you, when you realize that you are the creator of your own reality and that you determine everything that you see and experience and believe, so much opens up for you. There is abundance waiting for you that you do not even know is there. There's so much abundance and opportunities available for you that you wouldn't even be able to dream of, okay? But it starts with you opening up yourself to the possibility of that happening. And then the next thing, which is hard, and I had to do this too, and it was hard for me, is realizing where your identity that you want to get out of, how is it serving you? How is it benefiting you to hold on to this identity, right? So for me, like I mentioned, it was this like this camaraderie, this like shock value of who I was and where I was, and all of, being surrounded by people who were also broke and were also miserable in their lives. Like we constantly, we constantly attract what we are a match to. So when you're a match for complaining and being ungrateful and, essentially living in this very low vibrational state, you attract other people and other circumstances and other opportunities and life experiences that match that same vibration. This is what I mean by money is also an energy. So if we're constantly saying things like money is the root of all evil and money is terrible and oh my God, the gas prices, like if you're constantly complaining about gas prices and you're constantly complaining about money is not going to want to flow to you. That is not the frequency in which money vibrates on, right? And if you want to vibrate on the same frequency and energy of money, you're going to have to change your money story and the things that you say about money. This is the same with any relationship. You're not going to have a healthy relationship with someone that you're constantly talking badly about, right? Or that you're constantly like never wanting to spend time with, you're never wanting to, just like with any relationship, it's the same with money. It's the same with anything that you want to open yourself up to in your reality, in your life. It comes with taking different actions and different decisions, okay? And then the last thing I want to leave you with is if you're just starting this out and you're like, okay, where do I start? What do I do? I want to shift my reality. I do want to transform. Start small, okay? Actually, before you even do anything, I would suggest and I would encourage you to call on your spirit guides and call on the universe and just say, first of all, I believe that every single one of us has spirit guides and guardian angels that are watching over us and that are keeping us protected within the universe. And so they're here to support us and the universe has your back, but you have to consent to it. They're not going to reach out if you are not first asking and consenting to it, right? So when you open yourself and you say, I'm asking for support, please support me in whatever you want. Right? It could be in manifesting more money, in attracting my soulmate relationship, in building, a better life for my family, whatever it is, right? Starting my business, whatever, right? I would say to call on them first. And if you're looking for resources and you're looking for ways to start transforming, I would call on your guides to say, please open me and point me in directions in which I can receive more support. I'm open to receiving support. And once you do that, I promise you, I'm expecting messages and DMs from you, a week or a couple weeks from now going, oh my gosh, Tiffany, I tried it and this is what happened. This is what I received. Because when you're in a state of receiving, when you're in a state of gratitude, you're surrendered. You surrender to the universe. You surrender to everything that is available to you, right? You're no longer closed off and you're also not in desperation. When you're in desperation in this graspy energy, the universe also doesn't respond to that. Neither does money, neither does love, right? It's when you're relaxed and when you're surrendered and you're open, you're ready to receive. That is when the universe supports you. That's when the universe supports your desires. So that's the first thing that I would say is if you are looking to shift is calling on your spirit guides, calling on the universe. They're always ready to support you in this work. And so starting this work and really being in this energy, you really do have to evaluate and reflect on your energy. You have to realize and take note of where you are repelling certain things, where you are understanding and receiving certain things from the universe and from your own energy. Like, what are you reflecting, right? What does that look like for you? And I would say after you've called on your spirit guides for support, because they're always there to support you, the universe is always here to support you if you ask for it, then I would say just be in the state of receptivity all of the time. Be open to the fact that miracles can happen everywhere around you. And I would start scanning for abundance in your everyday life. We create so much what's the word? we create so much community, I guess, for lack of a better word, in complaining than we do in gratitude and in abundance. We're constantly, like, even when we're standing in line, even with strangers, sometimes the first thing we do is we're complaining, and then someone else joins in on our complaining, or we're whining about one thing or another, right? And then other people join in on it. It's like this way of being in scarcity that attracts other people that are also thinking in scarcity. And so I want to encourage you and challenge you to look for the abundance and look for the ways in which the universe is loving on you and supporting you and guiding you every single step of the way. Because I promise, if you're looking for it and you're looking for the evidence of it, it is there. It is available for you. This is here for you, right? So that's really where I would start, is start looking at the abundance around you. Start looking at all of the ways in which the universe is providing for you and where there is joy around you. And this starts to rewire your brain from scarcity. You're detoxing from scarcity and from fear, which is all around us, into your own abundance, into your own joy. And when you're in your joy, you're vibing at the highest vibration. You are at the highest frequency, and that is when you do your best work. That is when you attract all the opportunities that are meant for you to you. Okay? And this is all available to you. This is all available to you. I talk about this every single week on my podcast. One of my podcast episodes on attracting money, someone literally just listened to that episode and attracted over 4 figures of income cash that literally just came in, which was incredible. So there's so much that is available to you if you open yourself to it. Like, there's so much that the universe is willing to support you. And I would even say, you listening to this live, whether you're here live or you're listening to the replay, that the universe, your spirit guides, are guiding you towards more abundance in your life. But the thing is, because we are the creators of our own reality, we have to be receptive to it. We have to be open to it. We have to receive it, right? We have to be open to releasing an old version of ourselves, an old identity, an old truth, an old story of how we've been living our life, like me and the broke, struggling single mother. I had to release that. I had to realize how that identity was benefiting me, in order to create this new identity of who I am, making multi-6 figures, being a CEO, and really stepping into my my new and transformed identity of what I've been able to create. Okay, I think that I will leave us with that. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you didn't catch the first part, it is up on my feed right now. It's my most recent post, so you should be able to go and access it. If you are curious about learning more about manifestation and energy, attracting money, attracting more abundance into your life, I would say definitely start with my podcast, the Social Reset Podcast. It's free. It's accessible. If you are listening to this live, you're able to access the podcast. So go look it up. It's in the link in my bio, or just search Social Reset Podcast. And then if you want to work with me and you know for sure that you want to be in my sphere, you want to invest in yourself, you want to become a coach, my lifetime signature coaching program is Business Activation Academy. You pay once, you're in it for life. I am coaching you on anything and helping you to start and grow your business. And I infuse techniques of manifestation, law of attraction, and energetics, and helping you build your business your own way based on your own energy, not by mine, not by me telling you what to do, not by me giving you a strategy, but by uncovering what works best for you, okay? And you making executive decisions as a CEO. So that means that, everything that you do, everything that you hear, you end up having the final call on, and you end up learning to trust your gut and your intuition in making decisions in your business, which is so powerful. So that's Business Activation Academy, and that's also in the link in my bio if you want to read more about that and apply. Thank you all so much for being here and for supporting me and for listening to my story. Again, if you didn't catch part 1, it's on my feed now, so watch it in order. I love you all, and I'm wishing you all so much love and abundance, and enjoy as you continue on the rest of your week. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.